Mupango going through, and the next step will be for you to apply for the US visa. So after you've been able to luckily go through and being selected from this lottery, you have to go ahead and apply for the US visa using papers using the papers that have been able that have been like issued to you as long you're able to go on and apply. Bakugama, there is no cost. First of all, there is no cost for this. Is totally a free window that anyone can be able to go through and apply, so long as you're eligible. It's very important to know if your country is eligible, because as you're seeing down, I've been also able to highlight for you countries. I mean, these are not my own writings. It's a document eliku ku website here, travel.state.gov, where I've been able to get all these. Bagament this year round Mweno DV lottery 2016, these countries below tezili eligible: Bangladesh, Brazil, Canada, China, Colombia, Cuba, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Haiti, Honduras, India, Jamaica, Mexico, Nigeria, Pakistan, Philippines, Korea, South Korea, to be specific, Venezuela, Vietnam. Nenga, most importantly, we know that our brother and sister from Nigeria tebali qualifying at this time round. Indians teba qualifying. Usually the disqualification, those who are not eligible, chiva kubera nti bakuwensonga nti because more than 50,000 natives of these countries have already immigrated to the US already in the past 5 years. So bokwenso ngakwebasinza ogamba nti no, these countries tezili eligible kubanga yingira mu kaluka kubanga bangi bazzeemu omuwendo oguli ku limit in the past 5 years. That is to be clear. Bagambye nti this is all that you need to know nti oli eligible. First of all, ngokakasiza nti ensi yo teriemu ku zino eziri waggulu nga bwe nziri sitinze wano, nga teriemu ku ezo. Then no kubeera nti most importantly, there are only two requirements. Okubanga your country is eligible, again ngateli a part of this. When your country is not a part of this that are listed right here, you're eligible. Then the second requirement is for you to at least have a high school education or an equivalent. A high school education or an equivalent. Bwekitaba ekyo, the second option that goes hand in hand with the high school education as an at least requirement, you could have 2 years of work experience within the past 5 years. That also would make you eligible. So long as you have a high school education or you have a 2 years work experience within the past 5 years, however, in an occupation that requires at least 2 years of training or experience to perform it. So kumanya nti you have those two requirements. All right, I was telling you about the entry period. Looking at what has been listed, Bagamat applicants must submit entries for the DV 2026 program electronically. Website where it's travel.state.gov between in the noon on Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. That's when the windows are going to be open for you to drop in your applications, and it will be closing, not September, but no, it will be ending on November 5th, 2024. Do not wait for the last week for you to do the registration. You should try and do it as much early as you can. Drop in your application right there, and you will be standing a chance to be selected out to win a DV lottery. Submission of more than one entry for one person will lead to a disqualification. So you dropping in more than one application under the same name, same everything, will disqualify you straight away. Don't try to be smart. Drop in one application per year, and then you stand a chance to go through a spool of the lottery. Secondly, as we go ahead, batugambye again, after you complete submitting everything online, we shall go and see about everything that comes after you submitting and everything, completing the form and everything. They are also telling you to be cautious, and they're telling you do it yourself without a visa consultant. It's very important, because by doing it yourself, you know exactly what you're putting in right there. So you don't need someone to tell you, okay, these are details that I used to apply for you. You know everything about the information that you're dropping in right there, because you're doing it by yourself. Otherwise, if you need to be helped out, try to make sure you're having an eye on. You're having all your eyes on, so that you'll be able to know what has been filled in for you. Secondly, you should have a printout of your confirmation screen once everything is done, because you're going to need your confirmation number at the end of the day when you're checking out your entry to see if you were selected. So it's really important. So let's go on and see how you're going to fill in this form and what are the fields in there that are required for you to fill in. First of all, obviously you need to put in your name, first name and family name. If you have a middle name, put it right there. Then you select your gender, it should be male or female. Then also birth date, your birth date, month and year. You put in your city where you're born. If it's Kampala, put in Kampala. Then country where you're born. Then country of eligibility for the DV lottery. So the country that we talked about, like we said up there, if your country is eligible, there's a field where you're going to select your country, so you fill it right there. Then you're going to reach at a point where you need to put in your entrant photograph. This is a passport photo size photo that you need to scan and have it like electronic, so you can also insert it on your form before you submit. We shall go into the photo requirements and whatever is needed later on. Let's go on and see the mailing address, like where you're staying. If you have like zip code, you have a city address, everything, put it right there. Then a country where you live. There is a possibility that you're born in a different country. You're born from Uganda, born from Kenya, born from any other country of the world, but you are living in a different country. Fit it in right there, and that should probably be the same address that you're going to put in. That's in case you have residence in that country where you're living. Email address, that's important also, so you have you'll be able to receive in case there is any kind of communication that could be like sent to you. Also phone number, which is optional but also very important if you can fit it in right there. Then also there's that portion, that field where you're going to be asked to fill in your highest level of education. Remember, they told us you should at least have a high school education. So you fill in if you had a primary school, if you had a secondary school, university, vocational, university degree, fill in everything right there. It will be easy. Like usually there are drop down options for you to select and fill in. Then marital status, if you're married and married, it's also important when you reach at this point, because in case you've been like selected out of the lottery, all this information that you filled in regarding your marital status will come into effect. If you put in like you're married and your spouse was filled in, they also stand a chance to qualify as derivative applicants. There are also things that fell into that. There is quite a lot of information that is really required, but usually there's not so much that you need to think about. You're married, not married, you're not married. So fill in rightly status as you stand on that. Alright, I'll cut it short from here for now. On my next short video, I'll show you details on what to consider when you're trying to find a passport photo size for your DV lottery visa, DV lottery application.